So I've been lingering around this industry a little bit like a musty fart in the library. I've been kind of hovering, watching a few videos, subscribing to a few newsletters, never really reading them, but subscribing, listening to a few podcasts and stuff over the last year to maybe 2 years, just to roughly understand what this industry is about. And to be honest, I've never really got my teeth stuck into it. And that's why I wanted to make this episode to talk about that a little bit. I kind of feel like over that period of the year and right now even I'm sort of like a loser in a canteen sitting in a table by himself, looking over at the cool kids table where everyone's having fun. Everyone seems to really be enjoying their time in the space. So the reason that I wanted to have this video or this podcast and take a little bit of a snapshot is that I think it's pretty easy to forget what it's like to be an outsider once you're kind of in the circle. And having this snapshot and having this recording, I think will be really useful in the future. So I've kind of thought about two key important reasons why it would be good to sort of revert back to this information. Number one is for other losers, to use that other example, other losers that want to sit on the cool kids table and maybe go through this same reasons for resistance and look back and think, oh, well, this loser is now pretty cool. He's one of the chads of the industry, let's say. And gives them a framework to think, okay, I'm not the only one that went through this process, and if he did it, I can potentially do it as well. And the second reason for me is more for myself. And when I say more for myself, it's for me to be able to look back and look at this recording and think, okay, yeah, I was a loser once. Now I'm, like a Chad of the industry, Giga Chad, let's say. And I can still be in the industry, be at the kind of forefront of the field, but I don't need to kind of repeat the same patterns. And I can be something slightly different. I can be like the cool guy that is happy to talk to the losers, can have a joke with the losers, and occasionally be happy to be dick ridden by a loser. That's kind of my approach, and that's why I thought I'd leave you these. I've summarized it into 3 points, like 3 main points that I've found when looking at this industry from the outside and just scratching the surface. So let's get into it. Number one for me is the content is super, super bland. And I totally get it. It's a scientific subject. It's complex, blah, blah, blah. But for me, that doesn't cut it. I feel like every time I try to engage with any content to learn about the subject, I'm kind of falling asleep. And it feels like I'm kind of reading a textbook or something like that. And if I was if I was in the industry and wanting people to come into it that are maybe a bit more creative, maybe going to bring new ideas, maybe break old frameworks down, then you need to be engaging and you need to be doing something different that's going to, attract those kind of people that maybe think a little bit differently. So, that's one observation that I wanted to put out there, that it's super boring, super heavy when you look at any content or anything that helps you learn in this industry, in my opinion. Number two for me was kind of, I get the vibe that it's a very kind of a bit of a circle jerk when it comes to any content or any publications, anything when talking about the subject of cellular agriculture, cultured meat, alternative proteins. And what I mean by that, my dog's barking. What I mean by that is, what I mean by that is, everybody's just talking about the positives. nobody seems to be really having a dialogue about what's not working, what's not so good about this space. Nobody seems to really be talking to the people that stand to lose big time, like farmers. With the development of this, and ultimately, if you think about it, if everything was so positive, we'd be seeing these products on our shelves. I'd be able to buy this stuff, and I can't. So it's not really that good, is it? So that's definitely an observation that I feel like kind of culty vibes, let's say, when reading about the topic. And again, this is me reading on the surface, not digging deep, but I still think it's important because this is what other people are going to do when they're intrigued about the industry, to understand how it works, what's going on. The third one is kind of related to this, which is that it feels like there's not much collaboration between parties when it comes to trying to develop solutions. So this is both companies and individuals, organizations. Everyone seems to be at this kind of race to provide a solution. And most likely it's because pretty much there's a truckload of money to be made by the handful of individuals or venture capitalists that have got their bets on companies that actually succeed in bringing these types of products to market. And, when there is like a fuckload of money to be made in anything, typically what happens is people basically don't give a fuck about helping each other if it doesn't help them make that money. So not sure how you're going to ever change that, really. But it's definitely an observation that it feels like everybody's kind of staying in their swim lane, just trying to kind of bring their particular solution to market, and maybe not putting all of their minds together to actually try and get this thing over the line, or at least kind of bring and share the problems that everybody's having, to try and use, collaborative thinking to find solutions. So that's my three main observations as an outsider looking in. If I was to summarize them and speak back to myself as the kind of rules for my success, I'd say is firstly not to be a snooze fest when it comes to creating content and talking about the subject. Number two is just to consider that balanced opinions, considering and speaking to the people that are going to lose out in this development of this industry is not a bad thing. And if anything, I think it speeds up the process and the transition. And number three is sharing is caring. So just considering collaborating with people, not just being focused on winning the prize. And sorry, I just ate. Not being focused on just winning the prize, and actually trying to find a solution, or being more focused on just trying to find a solution to the industry, not just like a solution that you're going to win